I am excited for this topic.
Yeah?
Yes.
I'm
I
not.
know you're not. I know you're not, but I think that's why I am excited for this
I was
topic.
kind of let down.
We'll get there. The topic at hand is obviously the Nintendo Direct. We just had it yesterday. That was, let's see,
Yesterday as of recording.
yesterday's. Yeah. Oh yeah, we might want to like timestamp
Yeah.
these episodes.
Yesterday as of recording.
Oh Lord. Yes. So, just to timestamp us a little too late into the video, we are recording on September 14th of 2018. We had the direct on the 13th, which was yesterday. Stamp it, cut print. Check the game moving on. So,
Oh man.
now I wrote down stuff, and now there's no video this time around, but I wrote things. Lots of things. Basically, I wrote down everything they announced, but we'll be able to cut it down. This won't be a forever and a day topic. So let's just start right from the top. Luigi's Mansion 3 working title.
That was one of the things I'm actually really excited for.
That is a great way to start this. And according to them, 2019. Doesn't say when in 2019, but that is great news, and I love that. I played the first one. Phenomenal. Such a good game.
I'm actually looking to pick up the remaster because I've played a little bit of the original, and I've played very little of Luigi's Mansion in general, but
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Like the speed runs. I remember watching Bonesaw play through it and him having just such a good fucking time playing the game. It looks like a load of fun.
It is such a good game, and to think, I remember when that game in the system was released, because that was a launch title. Oh, were people upset? Oh, I can still feel the hate. Holy crap! Everyone was just super upset. Where's Mario? Luigi? Maybe Luigi instead? No. Where's Mario?
We want the fat one.
God, yes.
Bring us the fat one.
The one with the mustache. They both have
both have mustaches.
Just, good lord. I had zero qualms about that, but we're not going to talk about that.
Right. We're here to talk about the present.
Leave comments, people. Let us know. Hashtag Luigi's Mansion is better. This is something that did bother me, and we're going to run through these quickly, hopefully.
Okay.
They announced 3DS games.
Yeah.
3DS games coming out. One of them is Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn that's supposed to be coming out next year.
Which is a remaster of the Wii U game.
The Wii game. It was on the Wii.
Epic Yarn. Oh, Epic Yarn. I'm sorry. I'm thinking Canvas Curse.
Yeah, no. Canvas
Curse. Oh, well then I care even less.
It was Rainbow Curse, I think.
Rainbow, you're right.
Rainbow Curse, yeah.
I care even less then.
Epic Yarn was fine. The only thing about that is it was one of those games, it was like Yoshi's Woolly World, where dying had little to no consequences. So that makes it harder for someone like me to care, per se, simply because as much as I hate dying and losing progress, it gives it
Dark Souls. Sorry, I had a bit of a cough there.
Listen,
my bad.
There's a time and a place.
I think that time and place was perfect.
I can't disagree, really. Moving on, Mario and Luigi's Bowser's Inside Story with Bowser Jr.'s Journey.
I have a bunch of qualms with this.
Listen, the only qualm I really have about this is that it went from a DS title to a 3DS title.
That's my big qualm. Is you're remastering a game I can already play on my 3DS.
True. At the same time, it's not a 3DS title.
But I can play it on my 3DS.
True. I don't know.
It's in my 3DS right now, actually.
It's funny because I don't know what they'll do to the original story to make it better or worse, for that matter. But the Bowser Jr. Journey definitely looks interesting. I kind of like that idea, but I kind of just wish it was its own game.
Yeah. Second qualm. You're going to make me buy a remaster for a brand new game.
In other words, you're more upset because you're going to buy the game because you want to play that.
I'll buy it eventually. I have such a backlog that, and I haven't even finished Inside Story. I said it's still in my 3DS.
I'm more than halfway through it, and I really don't remember where I left off.
I have an RPG in both of my portable devices. I haven't finished either one of them.
Freaking RPGs. There's not enough time anymore.
I have Persona 4 in my Vita.
All right, and then really quickly, that comes out January 11th, 2019. So that comes out at the beginning of the year.
Give Nintendo money for a game you've already played. That was the direct. Before we move on, that was the direct. Give Nintendo money for games you have already played.
Listen, we haven't gotten even through half of this yet. Let's leave some suspense for people. Come on now. This is not Nintendo fanboying.
I have enough rage, okay? I have enough rage for this whole segment. Don't worry.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna lay it down right now, though. For every thing that I had a problem with, there was something to subdue that. It's not even anger. I don't get angry so much unless if it's a Zack Snyder or Michael Bay film, which I've been getting a lot better. I'm seeing an imaginary therapist for that.
As much as I don't enjoy many Michael Bay films, I love the Ninja Turtle movies.
20 minutes I fell asleep 7 times in a row. Let me throw that out there for a minute.
I love those movies.
And you know what? I've finally gotten over the 2 hard facts of this movie. 1, they're aliens, which makes no sense to me. And 2, they took an American actor to play a Japanese guy.
Fair, but I don't know, it's fun. Sheamus played one of the fucking...
So, moving on.
Sheamus played Rocksteady.
I didn't hate that.
He was great... Do what?
Was it Rocksteady that he played?
The Rhino. That's Rocksteady, right? Because Bebop is the pig.
Yes. I thought he played the pig, though.
No, the pig was played by a black dude.
All right, yeah, but
Sheamus is a pasty Irish boy.
You know what? I think part of my problem with watching that movie and falling asleep 7 times was I try to do it at night, thinking I'm wide awake. Let's watch this movie. But I swear, 20 minutes in, it put me to sleep 7 times. So then I watched it during the day, and somehow I was awake for it. Which sounds like it makes sense, but if you know me, it makes no sense, none whatsoever. Moving on. Now that I've said that like 3 times, and I just can't do it. Hold on. Shameless plug.
The shameless plug for the video nobody can see.
No video, never mind. Hashtag Snapple, where are you? Okay. So
I'm gonna put that in the fucking video.
You already mentioned this. You already mentioned this earlier. Luigi's Mansion Remaster. That is also a 3DS game coming out this
October 12th.
And
I'm excited.
In a 2-player mode.
I'm really excited.
That's kind of cool.
I have to buy 2 damn copies of the game, but me and the Queen are going through that. That sounds like fun.
You got it. I'll probably buy a copy and you can borrow it if anything.
The Queen will probably be back up in Pittsburgh by the time we get it.
Yeah.
So.
True.
I'll buy her a copy and I'll borrow yours.
There you go. All right, and then really quick, also Yokai Watch Battle Blasters, which apparently is out right now. Yeah, to be honest,
it's not Pokemon. It'll never be Pokemon.
But they advertised it kind of like, oh, this is kind of like Pokemon, which did make me intrigued. But then once I watched some of it, I'm like,
yeah, no, it tries. It tries really hard.
It definitely does it differently, and I don't hate it. It doesn't capture me. That's all. Then we finally that was pretty much my biggest qualm with the Direct was the fact that they're still releasing 3DS games, but I understand. I understand why they're doing it. So I'm not.
They're still releasing 3DS games. I still have a 3DS. I don't have a Switch yet. At least Nintendo's doing something I can care about.
Well, certainly, but the thing is, like, I can care about the Switch without ever even having one because. Fact remains is, for the past 10 plus years, people have been shitting on Nintendo because they released one system as a stroke of luck that did super well, and then their very next system was a complete failure to everybody. So I like when companies do awesome things and
That's
it makes
fair.
their customers happy.
I like how most video game enthusiasts seem to have the memory of the average pro wrestling fan does, where it's
Yeah,
like you only remember like what happened in the last month, and then everything else doesn't matter anymore.
sure.
Because I mean, nobody remembers. I mean, you will whenever people bring it up, but like people complain about Nintendo, but nobody remembers when Xbox tried to announce the Xbox One without a disc drive, and everybody went, "No."
And that's it. You know what? That is a great point because I always think about like if you were to bring up to the average person, they're like, "Oh, what do you think about Sony PlayStation?" And they're just like, "Oh, they're good. I like them or whatever."
Yeah, but nobody
No matter-
remembers when PlayStation 3 came out and it was $600.
Oh my god! I know. But the thing is if you go up to someone, you're like, "Oh, hey, what do you think of Nintendo?" They immediately jump down their throats about something negative
Because they're different.
about them. They're very different. It's because they're not trying to sell you a video game that's basically a movie that you interact with, and
Breath
it
of the
bothers the
Wild.
crap out of me. Listen,
In Breath of
that-
the Wild, your point is invalid.
no, that is not true. Breath of the Wild does not look like an action movie or anything like
It
that.
does, but it does it well.
Listen,
It
I
gets a
look at
pass.
Link and I know he's animated. When I look at the people in The Last of Us, I'm like, am I watching a movie or am I playing a movie? I don't understand. Until Dawn, I mean, come on. The graphics can only
I think
get
that's
so
a bit unfair because that game practically is a movie. It's like going,
Well, and
"Hey,
that's-
Detroit Become Human." Am I playing a game? Or I mean,
true. And like I said, it looks so
it's like
realistic.
the genre of
It's-
that game.
Yeah, just it looks so realistic. So you
Right.
think like that's why people can like sit down and play these games or watch them even
Mhm.
is what I meant to say, because they could literally just sit there and it's like watching a movie except you get to decide its outcome.
Yeah, mocap has
It-
become fucking amazing.
Oh, it really has. And I'm not knocking any genre or any game that does that. But when I think video games, I come from a time where a video game doesn't look like real life. You have to at least somewhat use your imagination still. And now I feel like Nintendo, especially nowadays with the Switch, is they're releasing games that bring your imagination to life.
Yeah, that's
So
fair. No, it's something I've always said. This is definitely a topic for another day, but I've always argued with the people that are like, "Oh, the game's not realistic enough." That's the fucking point.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
games aren't supposed to be realistic. They're supposed to be
No.
like hyper real,
Fun.
like hyper over realistic, past it, the beyond realistic.
let's just go back to the days where games were just fun.
Yeah, that's what Nintendo is, through and
Yeah.
through, for the most
They're all
part.
about that. All right, so let's stay on with the direct now. Keep going
Yeah,
with it.
where are we at?
Then they finally moved to the Switch after that, in which they had a big trailer question mark, like cinematic trailer even kind of for Splatoon 2 version 4. I don't even think they announced when that version is going to drop, but it was a very long segment that I feel like was unnecessary.
Yeah, I'm
It was fun to watch.
yeah, no, I love the music of these
Yeah.
games.
It's
I remember when Splatoon 1 came out, thank God I was working at GameStop at the time because I just took it home for the weekend and played it and brought it back. And I was like, well, I'm done with the single player. I'll never play the online. So,
I actually really enjoy the online. I just like playing the different modes because if you play in ranked, you actually have different game modes. It's not just
Right.
cover the most ground in this amount of time.
right, I don't have that kind of time.
Oh, I gotcha. I know.
I'm, reviewing almost 2 games at a time now. I mean, if you want to count Persona 4 and Bowser's Inside Story, then I have 4 current games that I'm going through,
There you go.
2 of which I hardly touch anymore. Because Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Yep. Spider-Man will consume you.
It's so good.
Next thing they announced was Mega Man 11, in which the demo is available now.
On consoles. Unfortunately, it's not on Steam. I wish it was.
Yeah. Yep. And it will be released in its entirety on October 2nd.
Is it 2nd? I thought it was 5th.
second.
Okay.
My notes are really like crappy looking, which is why I had to kind of like look closer and squint. But it's second.
So yeah, Capcom, give me the game. Give me the game.
Capcom, gimme. I do reviews.
I want to review game. I went through all 10 of the classic Mega Man games in May.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Back to back.
Yeah.
Darn.
That was fun.
Oh, I'm sure.
Until I got to Mega Man 7.
Because 7.
7 and 8 are the worst fucking games.
That's a topic to talk about.
Sure. Some other time.
Some other time. Mario Tennis Aces version 2 will be out September 19th.
I'm so sad this game already needs an update. It's been out for 2 months.
I think they are just when Nintendo gets something done and it's done right, they want to give it to their people, and by their people I mean their consumer.
Right.
Which a lot of people will fight me tooth and nail on that. Nintendo's not consumer friendly. They only release 2 million NES classics. Listen, I never said Nintendo was super smart, but they do listen to their consumers sometimes, and they do like money, kind of. But at the same time, at the time, I remember when the Wii U came out. I remember when everyone's like, Nintendo's doomed, and I'm like, oh yeah, with a bank account that can make them last until 2067.
And then Amiibos came out, and the Wii U was fine.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, just to highlight a few different things about Mario Tennis Aces, though, it'll bring 4 new characters, including Petey Piranha, Shy Guy, Birdo, Koopa Paratroopa. My qualm with this whole thing, despite it looking amazing, apparently these characters are acquired by playing online.
Cool.
No, not cool.
Yeah, no, it's sarcasm.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I can't be sarcastic about that. If I read that direct correctly and listened to it correctly, I don't see why.
Yeah.
That's
wrong, you tell us in the comments.
That's a little frustrating. That is where I do completely understand where everyone's like, Nintendo will take 2 steps forward but then take 2 steps back. I completely get that with this. It's like, that's something you unlock without online play.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me.
It's like, Street Fighter, you go through the single player modes to unlock the new characters. Or at least that's how it used to be.
That's how it should be. But I get times change, but this is something that really should not have been a thing. Period.
Yeah.
And then they also mentioned a co-op challenge that you can do, and you can be rewarded with special outfits. So I guess skins and color variations and whatnot. Cool things.
Mm-hmm.
And then moving on to, honestly, one of my favorite parts of the entire thing, Capcom Beat 'em Up Bundle, released September 15th. That is, oh my god.
Capcom acknowledged Captain Commando for the first time since Marvel 2.
That's right. And I have to admit, beat 'em ups are probably one of my favorite genres of all time. Probably easily top 5, maybe even top 3. I don't know why. They're short, they're fun, you can play with a bunch of people. It's just, they're so much fun. TMNT 4, Simpsons arcade game. Oh my, the Scott Pilgrim game.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the movie, the game.
By the way, I thought I heard something about that being a thing again.
I doubt it.
Not to get you too excited. I thought I heard something. I heard rumblings.
I know there's a way you can emulate it, but
I'm sure.
Pirate ARG. That's the route I'll probably take.
Yeah. But super quickly to highlight, this bundle has got 7 games. You got Final Fight, King of Dragons, great game. Captain Commando, you mentioned that. Knights of the Round, Warriors of Fate, Armored Warriors, Battle Circuit.
Which is the first time ever on a console.
Yeah, that one, and I think Armored Warriors and Battle Circuit are the ones
Yeah.
that have never been on a system before. They've never been ported.
Yeah.
But there will be online play and four-player action, so we can have four people play at the same time, just like in the arcades.
Just
And
as long as they do it better than the way Sega did their classics online BS.
oh yeah, I'm sure it'll
So
be.
sad about that.
Yeah, I will say something that can easily be argued but not really refuted against. Nintendo does really well with their ports,
Yeah.
especially with this Switch. The Switch is doing amazing. It's an indie machine. It's an arcade port machine right now. Like everyone's loving this thing.
That's something that really gets my attention for the Switch. Is I'm a huge fan of indies. So
Yeah. And there's plenty of those, even on this list, I believe. Um, Jumping to probably something that bothered you a little bit, the new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, which
yeah, I understand why
which
they're doing it, but yeah.
I believe it's being released in 2019. I actually did not write that down. I don't know.
January, yeah, January like 11th or something like that.
Here's the deal. I'm putting this out there. Put up any kind of warning. Ryan's a big dick for saying this shit, but here it is, guys. I'm laying this down for you. There is 110% nothing wrong with remastering and porting the Wii U games onto the Switch. If anything, it makes the most sense in the world.
I agree with you.
All of those games, you just add a little bit extra so it gives you more incentive if you're a Wii U owner to buy a Switch. I understand why that's shitty, but why wouldn't you want people who don't have a Wii U, who probably haven't heard of the Wii U, and the last system they had was a Wii? Why wouldn't you want them to have this game that's going to be brand spanking new to them?
Sure.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is doing gangbusters, just like Breath of the Wild is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Granted, Breath of the
I
Wild
guess
came out at the same time on both
that's
consoles.
true.
But
I wasn't really using that as like an example
Right.
per se, but it was pretty much the first game that popped in my head when I think of,
fair.
because it's the first game that it's come out on both systems.
Yeah.
But my God, I can yell, bitch, and complain forever about people who bash Nintendo for what they've been doing.
I mean, it's the same thing like everybody's been doing lately. This has been like
It's-
the generation of remasters.
This is the year to hate on Nintendo because they're finally doing good.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, just shut up
I
and play the
agree.
games.
So, okay,
Have some fun.
my two thoughts. The first, the good one. Yes, I agree with you. Porting the Wii U games is a good idea because if you already had the Wii U and you already have the games, well, guess what? You already have the games, so you don't need to buy it again.
Yeah.
Shut
have
up.
that
Don't
option.
complain. They remastered the wrong game.
I'm assuming you're saying that 3D World.
Where the fuck is Mario Maker?
Oh, well, yes. I have thoughts.
Where is it?
I have thoughts about that. I think they're going to pretty much double the size of that game and re-release it at a much later date. I don't think it's something we're going to get next year.
'Cause, yeah, until Mario Maker 2 or Mario Maker Deluxe or whatever you want to call it comes out, I'm not buying a Switch. Smash is
Here-
fun. I don't care.
Here's the deal. If I had to, if I could say for a fact that it's coming out, I would predict that it'd come out in maybe 2020, 2021.
That's far.
Maybe.
Too long. That's
I
far,
know.
That's too far away.
I know, but here's the thing too. If I remember correctly, why was this game even a thing?
This is the
Do you
30th
remember?
anniversary.
Exactly. There is really no, unless they want to do 35 years. Unless they want to wait for the 35-year mark and then do that for the
It's a
Switch.
dumb reason. Just
It's-
give me a remaster.
Oh, I know. I'm not saying it's a good reason. I'm just saying that's a reason.
It's like fucking Square Enix decided to push back the Final Fantasy VII remake 5 more years because they couldn't make the 20th anniversary.
Oh, Lord.
Thanks, Square. Can't wait till 2023 where you'll disappoint me and make Kingdom Hearts the Final Fantasy VII Redux.
Maybe I am a Nintendo fanboy.
A
I'm
little
basically advocating for them right now. Oh, well, this is why they're not making Super Mario Maker 2.
No, I mean, I don't think that's so much as advocating. It's like, this is how I see it. Because, I mean...
It makes sense to me.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Unfortunately,
I wouldn't
it's
call
not,
that fanboying.
unfortunately, it's not what we want. Okay. Quick things with this. Apparently, the Luigi U is probably going to be mixed in with this question mark. They didn't really say.
Luigi U is going to be in it. You could play as Nabbit and Toadette.
Yep. That was the other point I was going to make. 164 levels, or courses, I think is what they called them.
That's
a
lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of content.
That's not bad. Nabbit, for those of you that haven't played the game or haven't thought about this, if you have like a younger sibling or a kid that really wants to play with you, give them Nabbit because he can't take damage. And so you get to play the game.
I thought that was kind of a weird thing.
That's what he was there for, in my opinion. It was like, okay, here you go, little 5-year-old nephew. You can play with me.
Do whatever you want.
Here's Nabbit. You play whatever you want. I'll drag you through the stage so I can actually have fun with the game.
I will pick you up and throw you the entire way. That was probably the one thing my wife and I argued over when it came to a video game. I remember she always would try to pick me up, and I'm like, no, we got to finish this level.
That's the
and
queen.
Then out of spite, I would do it to her.
That's funny. I'm also kind of upset that this remaster is getting rid of the gamepad 5th player, where you can make platforms and shit. I like that. But I know I'm in the minority there.
Yeah, probably.
Then I have the game on Wii U, so
yeah, well,
I'll just play it there.
Exactly, and that's all. That's what it's about.
And I have Mario Maker, so I have an infinite amount of new Super Mario Brothers U stages.
There you go. Moving on, super quick because I don't really have any attachment to this game. The Katamari Damacy Reroll.
I know the Queen's really excited. I've never played a Katamari.
I've only seen it in like my local game store, and it was the PS2 game.
I'd be interested to play one for this stream or for review.
It looks pretty fun. That will be out winter of this year, so it's coming.
I wish they'd just call that holiday, because when they say winter, I don't care what year you put it. I think January.
Right? Yeah, that's true. I mean,
call it holiday.
Maybe. Well, here's the thing. The one thing everyone tends to forget about with Nintendo. Nintendo is not a fan of being like, oh, hey, it's coming out this date, and then when something goes wrong, they're like, oh, well, we're going to push it back.
Right.
The thing is,
just say holiday. Like, you don't have to give me a date.
Yeah.
Holiday's November, December?
Yeah, well, I would say November, December would probably be the time. But that also reminds me that Nintendo also doesn't like to release a game until it's done. Yeah. So if they have to push it back, they'll push it back all day long.
It's Star Fox.
Yeah. To be completely honest, 125% okay. Oh, Breath of the Wild. I remember my friend back home was like, I'm not buying Breath of the Wild. And I was like, why not? And he goes, because this game was supposed to come out like 4 years ago.
Yeah, he probably never bought Final Fantasy 15 either.
I don't know if he's into Final Fantasy as much
Kingdom
as
Hearts 3.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
We've been waiting on Kingdom Hearts 3 for 15 years.
Mm-hmm. Something like that. I think it's 14.
It will be 15.
Will be 15
by the time the game comes out. They announced it 7 years ago. Yeah, but I've been wanting Kingdom Hearts 3 since Kingdom Hearts 2 ended.
Right, pretty much. I've only played Kingdom Hearts 1 a little bit. I don't even think I got out of Traverse Town. It was the one thing that game doesn't do is nudge you in any direction.
It's not as good as everybody says it is.
It just throws you into a pit and is like, get out yourself.
Kingdom Hearts 1 actually isn't a good game. I'm just saying, guys. Kingdom Hearts 2 is good.
Whisper. I know these mics are good, but you don't have to whisper.
I'm hoping that the fanboys don't hear my rumblings.
They can hear you thinking it. Moving on. Nintendo Switch Online.
Oh boy.
Something everybody loves to bitch about.
Should we get it? Oh, what are you talking? Yeah, I'm gonna bitch about it. You
We're
bitch
gonna-
your sweet ass. I'm a bitch about it.
I'm rambling off the 5 things they highlighted super quick before we get into their prices. Online play. NES games / online with friends. In other words, you can play NES games online with friends, which I think is pretty great. Save Data Cloud. Smartphone app. I think every single person
Lol.
ever just cringed. And then special offers, which they didn't.
They didn't say anything about.
Why didn't, I mean,
More to come later, but it's a feature.
imagine.
Fuck
I mean,
me.
you just tell me what my special
I'll
offer is,
just
damn
bend
it.
over. You can put your dick in, Nintendo. I'm sorry. What did I do? Jesus Christ.
That is a massive shaft.
It's a big end.
So yeah, they talked about those 4 things because that 5th thing was like nothing.
Right.
But NES games I'm excited about. Obviously, online play is a given.
You wanna
Save
talk
Data
about
Cloud.
the
I've been
NES
hearing
games that are
people.
coming?
What's that?
Do you want to talk about the list of NES games that are coming?
You know what? They basically showed some of the games.
I have the
through-
list in front of me if you want it.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead,
So-
ramble them off.
Balloon Fight, Baseball,
Awesome.
yay,
Cool.
Donkey
Cool.
Kong,
All right.
not bad, Double Dragon, all right,
Nice.
Dr. Mario, decent game,
Yeah. Staple.
Excite Bike, staple,
Staple for some.
Ghost and Goblins. Did you say Dark Souls?
Uh,
Gradius,
I've only played Super Ghosts and Goblins. Yes, Gradius.
I love Gradius. Ice Climber, which no one's ever excited for.
I didn't mind playing them in Smash, but go on.
Nobody likes the Ice Climber video game.
They just look so cute, though.
Fight me. Ice Hockey, yay.
It's a hockey game. I don't mind hockey games.
The original Legend of Zelda, good.
Of course. Staple.
The arcade Mario Bros.
Yes.
Pro Wrestling, yay.
Whatever. That's fine, though.
River City Ransom, I'm excited
Oh,
about.
I'm really actually surprised about River City, but
Online River City Ransom, that sounds fun.
oh, yeah, it does.
Soccer,
Hey, you gotta please every other country except for us somehow.
I guess. Super Mario Brothers 1 and 3, no 2.
Well, I expected that.
They forgot about the greatest video. Insert donkey joke here.
Donkey or Donkey joke?
Donkey, video game Donkey.
Donkey.
He's
Oh, okay.
yeah, he's a popular anyway.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
original Timco Bowl, not Bo Knows Ruins the video game Timco Bowl,
Gotcha.
and tennis.
And tennis.
That's
Yeah,
everything
I mean-
coming on the 19th. There's more to come.
Yeah, and to be honest, I mean, you can't have all the good shit right out the gate. You gotta give them you gotta keep them wanting more. I mean, I get the business tactic behind it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't.
I have to advocate for even the assholes up in the towers with their millions of gold coins and their Scrooge McDucks mentality. I mean, playing the double-edged sword today.
I don't know. Here's the thing. It's like, this is your beginning. This is the reason a lot of people are going to buy into this. That and the online play. That's the reason
Yeah.
people are going to buy into this. Half
Absolutely.
of these games, I don't give a shit about.
Yeah, I understand.
Baseball, cool, yay. What?
But let's just knock it out in one shot. All the sports titles, pretty much, except for maybe
Timco Bowl.
Bowl. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Tecmo. I've
All
been saying
the
it
sports
wrong.
titles, I'm sure you could pass on.
Ice Climbers, joy. It's a staple.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's stupid. It's a dumb game.
It's a black box game.
It's so dumb. It's like, I don't know. Where's Mega Man 2?
Eventually, I
Where's
have a feeling,
Final
like,
Fantasy?
If they were to do pack number 2, I could see Mega Man 2 being on it. Maybe Final Fantasy.
I don't know. There's a bunch of games here that is missing.
I'm sure they have license. Oh my god.
License.
You could finish. Yeah, license. This is why I wish we had video, to be honest, to see me break down in front of the camera.
Do you remember like the 2-month period when Ian couldn't do the CU podcast Patreon link?
It was literally the funniest part. Like, I would go back and listen just for those moments.
I feel like I'm Pat right now and I'm laughing at you.
Yeah. Where, it's that moment where he knows he messed it up mid-sentence and then just stops talking because he knows he messed up so bad.
I'm fucking red.
Anyway, Lice is... I'm very sarcastically drinking my Diet Peach Snapple hashtag not an ad, hashtag should be an ad.
I can't breathe. Licensed.
We're not done. Breathe, damn it.
God.
We're not done.
Licensed. Say it with me.
No.
Licensed.
No. I need to separate myself from this word for at least 10 minutes before I get it right.
All right.
So they had issues with getting these games on there, possibly. Because, I mean, fuck, look at Konami. I don't know how they squeezed Bomberman into the Switch.
Where's Castlevania? That sucks.
Castlevania's Konami too?
Yeah.
That's probably why. Although they did get Simon Belmont for Smash, so...
Metal Gear?
Fuck me, I don't know. Anyway,
I'm pass on that.
Let's move on, because I don't want to talk about the smartphone app. I do think it's a little silly, but...
why can't you just build it into the Switch?
Do you want to hear my argument for the app? Okay. Try to bear with me. Just try.
I'll try.
So here's the deal. When I think of being online and listening to people talking to me while I'm playing a game, I think of those little fucks, those 11, 12-year-olds who swear at their parents, and they're like, fuck you, dude, you noob, I'm going to fucking teabag your ass after I kill you. And you're playing Call of Duty. So for one, they shouldn't, I mean, we're getting onto a parenting issue. Sure. One, they shouldn't be playing these friggin' games. And two, why the fuck are they swearing at me? I don't want that shit. Here's the deal. Bringing it right back around to my point. Nintendo doesn't want that either, because they are a family-friendly console.
Sure.
So
that's what parental controls are for.
Yeah, but what about the parents that don't care?
That's not on Nintendo.
It is if they build it into the Switch, which is getting to my direct point. So, hold on. Let me finish my point. I feel that is directly the point. So what they did is they are using a third-party service to provide people with the ability to chat with the people you're playing with. That way, if some bitch... that's wrong. That's mean. If some person...
I like the bitch. Let's go back to bitch.
I know you didn't know.
Is some bitch.
I need to space out my rage here and there.
Oh my god.
I'll rage about something else incorrect. So, some person calls up Nintendo and is like, hey, I'm having issues with this, that, or the other thing. And they come complaining. And if you get enough people complaining, Nintendo doesn't want to deal with that. It sounds like a shit argument, but that is something I perceive. So, and I feel like Nintendo thinks that way too. So it's like, license it out to a third company, have somebody make this app that goes with the Switch. You have the ability to use it or not use it. And those people who do, if they want to complain about it, it's not Nintendo's problem.
It's dumb.
It is. It is, but
if I'm going to use a third party, I'm sure as fuck not using Nintendo's third party app for it. I'm going to go to Discord, and I'm going to be mad that I had to go to Discord to talk to somebody while I'm playing Mario Kart to tell them to fuck their mom.
Or Splatoon what are you doing? Get better.
Pro Genji? I gotta stop watching donkey videos, man.
Yeah, you might need to.
They're so funny.
Okay. Is there any other topic that I want to ignore? Well, there's the save data.
We need to talk about the save data real quick, because I don't know if you know this. Yeah, there's.
I think I do know this, but go on.
There's a small list of games that the save data doesn't work for on the cloud.
Do you think they're going to update that?
No.
You think that's how it is?
They're Nintendo and they don't give a shit.
Phoebe!
What the fuck?
See, it's not that they don't give a shit, but again, this is that taking 2 steps forward and then 2 steps back. They're not an American company, which means they're not going to function the same way an American company does. I don't see that as so much a good argument, but it does kind of bring up questions. It doesn't make sense to me either, especially because I think one of the games that was actually there's quite a few, and one I'm thinking of is the remastered version of Dark Souls.
Yeah, Dark Souls Remastered is one of those games.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, that's one of the ones people would be chomping at the bit to have that for. So,
but
yeah,
there's only 5 games that I'm aware of at the moment. Dark Souls Remastered, FIFA 19, Pokemon's Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, and Splatoon 2.
Yeah, and the Nintendo titles kind of puzzle me, but I mean, it's weird. I don't know what it is, but going back to the 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, it doesn't make sense. And then Dark Souls definitely doesn't make sense because there's a lot of people that are going to be upset, or are upset. With that.
Nintendo.
What are you doing? Give me my games. Anyway, yeah. So, okay. Is that all you got for?
I also quickly wanted to mention that I'm not too keen on being ready to pay for another subscription service to play online. But
here's the deal with that, though, and this is going right into the next thing. The plans for a month are $3.99. For 3 months, it's $7.99, and for 12 months, it's only $19.99. For a year, it costs $20. How much is PSN?
$60 per year.
$60. That's
PSN gives me 2 free games a month,
and
that aren't NES titles.
And you're getting all the classics of the NES in chunks. I had a thought and then I lost it. That people wanted with the Virtual Console. Everyone wanted the Virtual Console back, which is completely understandable.
I think Nintendo would have been much better just being like, we are now the Netflix of classic games.
That would have been...
Give us $10 a month. You could play whatever NES, Super Nintendo 64 game you could ever want to play.
I think this is kind of attributing to when everyone's like, oh, Nintendo doesn't like money. Well, this kind of proves them wrong. Because why would they give you all of them at your disposal when they can give them to you in chunks? And you pay... Okay, hater.
You gave me Mario's 1 and 3. You gave me Zelda. You gave me Yay Ice Climbers.
Donkey Kong.
You gave me an arcade game.
Balloon Fight.
Another arcade game.
But Balloon Fight's so good. It's so much fun to play. Give it a shot. Just give it a shot.
I've played Balloon Fight. It's alright. It's fun for
fun.
15 minutes. Then it gets old.
And then they have a family member plan which discounts like $5,
which is probably what I'll be doing whenever me and the Queen both have a Switch.
Yep, $5 is $5.
$35 a month on top of my PS Plus.
It's $35 for 12 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm paying almost $100 a year to play online.
for all your consoles.
Yeah. This is why people say PC Master Race, just for the record. Not to throw my hat in that or anything, because I definitely don't feel it. But
I understand the PC Master Race. What the thing is I can't play Mario on the PC.
I can.
Arguably.
It's called emulators.
Arguably. The other real quick thing that I think is brilliant, although of course people kind of probably cringed at the price point, is the NES controller Joy-Cons.
Yeah, Yeah,
Those
they
are,
were cool until they were $60.
yeah, but it is $60 for both Joy Cons.
For 20 games, then half of which I don't care to play.
20 at the start of the service.
So what you're saying is when they go down in price to $40, it'll be more worth it to me.
Well, sure. And honestly, the only qualm I had about those is how awkward they look on the Switch when you have to put them in. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, I saw that. It's rather interesting. See, the thing about Nintendo for me has always been it's always been a waiting game. I've never, other than Breath of the Wild, I don't think I bought a single Nintendo game the day it came out.
I think I bought Super Mario Maker.
I lied. I did buy that day one.
But
I knew that game was going to be great.
I bought Splatoon three weeks after that came out.
So I rented it via GameStop when I was working there. So
there you go. And then the other one, a lot of people are going to hate me for this one, but you know what? Star Fox Zero.
I bought Guard pre-owned for $5 at GameStop a week after Zero came out. And I was like, Guard was fun.
Yeah, Guard was great. Guard's great. I enjoyed Star Fox Zero, so that would make me and Gerard the only two people on planet Earth who
I'm already not really a fan of the formula of Star Fox, so...
The thing is it definitely needs another story.
Yeah.
Not a similar or a revamped story.
It's exactly the same every time.
I have had no qualms about them revamping the story and making it interesting, but there's a demand for a brand new story, and it's not hard. Nintendo does it all the time with these new IPs that have been coming out.
Mm-hmm.
It's not impossible to make a brand new story. Just give us a story, Nintendo. Sit me down. Sit me down with
5 years to give us Star Fox 64 again.
Just sit me down with milk and cookies and give me a Star Fox story.
Anyway,
moving on.
Move on with the direct.
Yes, something that probably didn't tickle your fancy either was Diablo 3 Eternal Collection.
I'm indifferent about it. I'll pick it up later.
I enjoy Diablo 3, and having the skin exclusive to be able to play like Ganondorf, that's really cool.
So I'll pick it up in a year when it's $20, and I'll buy a copy for the Queen so you can play online.
Yeah, there you go. I don't mind it. I mean, people look at like that skin thing, and they're just like, that means nothing to me. And I'm like, well, I kind of want to look like Ganondorf while I beat the shit out of people. Why not? And that's coming out, I believe my note says November.
I just say it's in the next few months, yeah.
It's 2nd or 7th, because my 2 is suspiciously looking like a 7 there. Moving on, Super Mario Party had an update. It comes out October 5th.
It looks pretty good.
It's and it's going back to the formula. I think everybody's been begging for that.
I say it looks like a Mario Party that I could actually be excited for, and I haven't been excited since Mario Party 3. So
I heard 4 through 7 on the GameCube were great, though.
Yeah, they're off and on.
But yeah,
they're not as good as the original trilogy.
Yeah, so
the 64 games are just too good.
Yeah. Basically, the only new things that came out of this update was they said that all the minigames are brand new, and there's 80 of them.
Which I'm excited for.
There's a single-player mode and a challenge mode.
Whoop.
I don't know if I'm missing anything else, but either way, moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is a game made by Game Freak called Town.
I need to see more before I get any amount of excitement for it.
The only note I wrote next to this was story takes place in the town, meaning that supposedly you never leave this town, but there's an entire RPG to be made out of this town.
As I said, I need to know more.
I know, but that idea is interesting. I don't see how.
That doesn't make it good.
No, I'm not saying it makes it good or bad.
Right.
But it is made by Game Freak, so you Pokemon lovers, if you want to support the company that makes your Pokemon games, maybe give this one a shot if you think it's worth it. And I'm definitely going to coast through quite a few other things that they mentioned. This City Skyline Switch Edition It basically looks like SimCity remastered.
It's like
Like
a new
ultra.
version of SimCity. Yeah.
Yep. And apparently there's the After Dark and Snowfall edition included within the Switch, and it's available
Woo.
already. Like it was announced and available for it to be available. Yes, starting yesterday. So then we go to Daemon X Machina, which looks really good.
I'm-
I've never been super into that genre, but it looks beautiful. It sounds amazing and epic. And it kind of, the art style reminds me of like an anime, but at the same time, it also gives me like a Sin City looking vibe with its art style. It's kind of weird, at least with the quote unquote trailer slash preview they gave with this direct.
I keep confusing this game with Metal Wolf Chaos Remastered, which is a game Devolver's making. Because they were both mech games that were announced at E3, and they kind of looked similar for a moment.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Metal Wolf Chaos. This one, I'm like, I hope it's good.
Hey, if it's good, it's just another one in the genre. Why
It
not?
doesn't look like Gundam, but
It's certainly interesting that they come out at a similar time, or they're announced at a similar time.
I hope it's good, but I don't have high expectations.
I understand. Absolutely. Next, we go to the Yoshi title that was a working title when it was first announced.
Yeah.
That was probably like 2 or 3 directs ago, and we got a big update with that. It is called Yoshi's Crafted World, which I'm not really a fan of the title, but
I liked
whatever.
Woolly. Woolly World was fun.
Woolly World was great. Titles aren't all a big deal to me, so that didn't bother me. It was just Crafted World. I was like, okay. Anyway, spring 2019, that's going to be coming out, and there's a 2-player mode, and I think it's absolutely awesome that they kind of did what Super Paper Mario did to its game, where you basically press a button and it flips on you in a way. With Super Paper Mario, it basically gave an
the point of view switches on you.
It turned it 90 degrees so you could see the depth. So it basically gave your game a Z-axis to play with. Where this game does do that, maybe ? But at the same time, you could basically play the exact same level you're on backwards. You hit something or press a button or whatever it is you do, and you're literally going through the exact same level but backwards, and it makes it almost a completely different level though.
It makes it a new Super Luigi U.
Yeah, pretty much. it gives it more per level.
Right.
There's more to do per level, which is cool. And the art style reminds me of Woolly World. It's really cool. I like it.
Yeah, I'm
I like
interested. I won't pick it up day one, but
Yep, I hear you. Next, they basically announced a bunch of tabletop games on Switch. Kind of zoned out, although I did pick up on there being a Lord of the Rings game that was a card game.
Yeah,
that's on there. Pandemic was another popular.
I'm interested in Catan.
Yes, Catan was another one. There were 1 or 2 others.
I don't remember.
I can't remember what they were.
Somebody make an Axis and Allies board game, please. I would love that. I love old school Axis and Allies, man.
There you go. Why not? Moving on, really quick. Civilization 6.
I'm excited.
I'm
very hyped for that.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that like a really niche market? Is there like a cult following of people who play Civ?
I mean, it's turn-based
Civ
strategy. If you like XCOM, you'll like Civ. Civ is more in depth than XCOM ever will be, but I mean, yeah, I've always enjoyed the Civilization games.
Fair enough. And that comes out November 16th.
And so to have it, like, if I have a Switch in my pocket, that's a plus. That's awesome. If I buy a Switch, I'll be definitely getting Civ for it.
There you go. And you'll get that on November 16th,
Woo.
if you so desire. Then we move on to Starlink. in which they basically doted on the Star Fox missions.
Say it's a Ubisoft Star Fox game coming out.
Pretty much, it's a Star Fox game that's not a Star Fox game.
Yeah.
Which I'm completely fine with. I like that it's its own game, but then they take Star Fox and basically made this game Switch exclusive to have like the Star Fox missions.
Yeah.
Not to mention they mentioned that if you play as Star Fox, you're going to get assistance from his team, which is cool. And then they showed that really cool clip of Star Wolf eating a piece of meat. and I just remember him saying, I never thought I'd miss the food on Corneria.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my god. He sounds so savage.
I hope if this game does well, I hope Nintendo will just let Ubi make a new Star Fox.
Actual just full-blown Star Fox game.
I think that would be your best bet if Starlink does well.
I think that'd be a smart choice. Absolutely. And that game, October 16th, is when that game comes out.
So
which
many
I believe
fucking games coming out in the next 3 months.
I know.
There's too many goddamn Switch games coming out in the next 3 months.
I feel like that's a whole other topic. I got so much to say. Being away from YouTube and this platform for so long, it's just like I got so much to talk about. I stayed silent way too long.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you. But we'll move on nonetheless. Xenoblade Chronicles 2: The Golden Country.
Yeah, I need to play the original game first. So
I was just thinking that. I think the original Xenoblade Chronicles was originally only a GameStop exclusive.
I say it's a GameStop exclusive, so the game is $65 used.
Yeah, I remember finding it at my GameStop for $65, and I was like...
I had it on 3DS for a while. It's interesting. It plays like an MMO, which is what's really weird to me. Yeah, it plays just like an MMO, but it's not. It's an RPG, but it plays just like an MMO.
The first one looks really good. The Wii U game, Xenoblade Chronicles X.
I was so excited for that game. I'm so sad it flopped.
Yeah, as soon as I saw X, it reminds me of Final Fantasy in the idea that here's a brand new game and it has nobody from the previous game. And I was just like, we already have a company that does that. I don't think there's room for another, to be honest.
I mean, there's not, to my knowledge, I don't think any of the characters from Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is in 2.
That's what I mean. Like,
you were going from 1 to X, though. I don't think any of them are in 2 either.
Right, but that's what I mean. You look at all the Final Fantasies, none of them are really connected. Unless if they're like 10 and 10-2, where it's purpose.
Yeah, where it has an actual sequel. The 13 trilogy.
Yeah. Which, put a pin in that, because we'll talk about that.
Speaking of Final Fantasy.
That will, put a pin in it. I'm trying to do it in order. Is what I've been trying to do. So I'm not jumping ahead. Sorry. We're not skipping chapters, damn it. Real quick, then they also talked about The World Ends With You. I kind of zoned out despite the fact that the game looks great.
It looks okay until it looks like the Game Boy Advance Kingdom Hearts game that I hated with a passion, and so I'm not really excited to play it.
The Game Boy Advance one?
The one that was like, it had like a card system. I don't remember the name of that.
I don't either.
I hated that game.
The only ones I remember that were on the handheld were Chain of Memories, and then there was like that 247-3 or whatever. Whatever that number was.
Hearts GBA. It was Chain of Memories.
Oh, that is Chain of Memories.
Yeah.
That was... Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
I didn't like that game. Was not a fan.
Yeah, so that game's still coming out, probably at its original date, and I don't think it even mentioned it in the direct. But
November, I think.
Okay. Don't fall asleep on me yet. I know we've been...
Bad.
I told you this was definitely going to be a big boy topic, but like I said, we're trying to move quick. Warframe, November 20th.
Yay, I guess. It's not for me.
Just Dance 19, October 23rd.
Also not for me.
If I need to work out, I still won't play Just Dance.
Woo.
FIFA 19, September 28th. I actually was kind of surprised to see Team Sonic Racing become a game again.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be one of those fun other kart racers. I mean, I enjoy Diddy Kong Racing around the 64 era as well.
Right.
So that should be out in winter. I know how much you like when they're like winter instead of give me a day month.
So January.
Yep. NBA 2K19 and then NBA 2K Playgrounds 2.
Yeah.
2K19's already out, I believe, correct?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it came out Tuesday.
I think this was like an update, and then Playgrounds 2 should be out in the fall, which is what we're in.
Yeah.
Then Lego DC Supervillains, which, I mean, it's a Lego game, but it still looks kind of cool. I like the idea. That's out October 16th. And then we're going to take that pen out real quick.
Oh, we're at the part I care about again. Sweet.
The slew of Final Fantasy announcements, which I was particularly giddy about. I don't know why.
I'm happy about most of it.
Hashtag Super Mario RPG 2, make it fucking happen. So, Final Fantasy Chronicles Remaster.
That I'm hella excited about. That might make me buy a Switch.
I remember telling one of my coworkers who's a big Final Fantasy fan when I was like, "Have you watched the new Direct?" And he was like, "No, I have no idea what's going on." And I told him Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles was being remastered on the Switch. He kind of stopped dead in his tracks, like no joke. He was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, that'll be fun." With that, it'll be supporting online play.
I have a Crystal Chronicles Switch, please.
Yeah. There you go. I don't think you'll see that happen.
That would be fucking cool, though.
It would be. It would be indeed. Yeah. So we have that. That should be coming out next year.
Yes.
2019. Then this is something that puzzled me and didn't at the same time. Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition. I don't have words. Not that it's a bad thing, but it's
it's a bad thing.
It's a bad thing.
So here's the baby version of Final Fantasy 15.
For all the kiddies. It's a kiddie system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep your stigmas, Nintendo.
World of Final Fantasy Maxima.
The game's really fun.
I
have it on PS4.
I know of World of Final Fantasy. Maxima, I'm assuming, is just like
it's
a new edition.
Yeah.
Remaster. That will be out on the 6th of November. Then we've got Chocobo Mystery Dungeon coming out in wintertime.
Everybody.
It
looks fun.
And
it looks like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah. They also mentioned Final Fantasy 12 coming out next year.
Which I'm excited for, because I never finished 12.
Yeah.
And now I've
never watched it.
I would much rather play an RPG portable, so I'll probably pick up the Zodiac Age on the Switch.
There you go. And the thing that made me most excited, for no reason other than I have a system that can play all these games and they're looking 10 times better than they've ever have, would be the Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 9, then 10 and 10-2. I don't know. They didn't say how it's going to be released that I know of. I don't know if it's going to be...
I think 7 and 9 will be the PC ports, which is an HD rendition of the 64 polygon rendering. So it doesn't look that much better. Some of the cutscenes look a lot better, but like the regular gameplay kind of looks the same. Not that I care, because Final Fantasy 7 on a portable console, suck it, Final Fantasy 6 fans. My game's going to be on the Switch. I gave a thumbs up to the camera, and then I realized that nobody's going to see that but Ryan. So cool.
It's forever ingrained in my memory now. I'm more excited about Final Fantasy 9 because I think that was the first Final Fantasy I beat.
It's one I don't really remember ever playing, so I need to go. I think I have it. I think I have it on PS1.
I remember very fondly playing through the game and beating it with my best friend, and then one day I was talking about it with my wife and I told her like the basic story, and we decided to play it and go through it ourselves. And we're on disc 2, and we've paused here and there. So I think we need to get back on that train very soon. But definitely, it was the first Final Fantasy game I beat, so I have an emotional attachment to it in a way.
It's like me with 7.
Got some nostalgia for it. But I also have nostalgia for 10. Final Fantasy X was really good. Played a lot of Blitzball, although I was very bad at it. I tried my best. And then 10-2 I just... matters. Yes. And then 10-2 I skipped. My best friend bought it. He played it. Thought it was all right. Wasn't like anything like 10. Because
I've been told it's a lot better than what I remember, and I'll probably end up going back to it at some point in time.
Well, that was one of those games where it wasn't turn-based anymore. Mm-hmm. Not so much, anyway. It was a different form of turn-based play. So, right. But either way, I would certainly pick it up at some point, try it out. All right, so moving on.
So we're almost through this nightmare topic.
Oh my God, it's just, you know what? I don't mind talking about Nintendo for ages, but man, this has definitely been going on too long. So, I'm going to circle back around super quick because this is related / not related, but they did announce the Hey You Pikachu, Hey You Eevee Switch bundle. Mm-hmm. During when they were talking about the new stuff that's going on with the game. Mm-hmm. And it's cute. It's a cute looking system.
It's not $300 cute.
Yeah, pretty much. But there are some Pokemon fans that do think that. So, I mean, if it's not for you, it's for somebody.
Right.
But with that said, Smash is getting a bundle as well. And I think they went about it the right way. They put the original 8 on the dock itself, and then they made the controller simple by basically when you put it together, you get the Smash logo.
Nice.
Then you have available, I think the same day as the game launch, would be the GameCube-style controller, like they did for the Wii U, and the link cable, which at one point in time used to be like $50-$60 on eBay to get a hold of the first party thing.
Right.
Stupid. But
yay, scalpers.
That's a thing again. So that's really cool though.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it for that part. And we're almost there. This was definitely one of my most favorite parts about the Direct. Because Animal Crossing's Isabelle had a little premium. Aha! You can't see it out there, but
I've got the amiibo.
Somebody who is not me has the amiibo.
I have the entire Animal Crossing amiibo festival. I have all the amiibos for that game.
So maybe you'll be happy to know that you can play as Isabelle in Smash.
I'm actually not.
No?
And the reason for it is like, man, Isabelle is such like a cute, fun-loving character that I don't think I could bring it to myself to be Cloud and just smack her with the Buster Sword.
I was going to say, is it you can't bring yourself to be Isabelle and try and beat the crap out of someone?
No, I'm going to play the fuck out of Isabelle.
You're going to beat the crap out of people. Don't mess with Isabelle.
Party popper your face, bitch.
The reason... The reason why I thought this was my most favorite part of the Direct, it has nothing to do with me liking Animal Crossing because I don't have any sort of attachment to it. But Nintendo has been doing this thing where they've been faking people out left and right with their Directs.
I have no idea how mad the Queen was about this.
I thought it was fucking awesome. She got the letter, and when I saw the letter, I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
They're going to piss Animal Crossing fans off by putting her in Smash and talk nothing about a new game. I was getting flashbacks about King K. Rool being in Smash. This was a character, King K. Rool anyway, was a character that I said back in the Melee days needed to be in Smash.
Yeah.
Other than Waluigi and Ridley, those are the three characters that I've heard the most need to be in Smash, and then they faked you out, and King DDD was in a King K. Rool suit. All of a sudden, gets the fuck beat out of him by the actual King K. Rool.
Yeah.
One of the best fake outs for a direct. But they did it again with this one because shortly after finding out that she was in Smash, who is that? Tom Nook.
Tom Nook. Yes.
Tom Nook.
The asshole loner himself.
Announced to the world that a new Animal Crossing is coming next year.
There's Tom.
Where's Tom? Let me see Tom. No one else can see Tom, but there's Tom. What up, Tom?
I have all the amiibos for Animal
What up,
Crossing.
Tom? Fuck you, Tom. But that is big fucking news. You had a new Luigi's Mansion at the beginning and a new Animal Crossing at the end.
So I know this segment has gone on long, but I'm going to paint you a picture of the ending of this direct for me and the Queen.
Okay.
Because I was at work when it started.
Yeah, so was I.
And I got off like 5 minutes to go with the direct.
Okay.
So right before they announced Isabelle, and so I'm walking home watching the direct, and as soon, like you said, as soon as I forgot the fucking mailman's name, the
duck or whatever.
He's a pelican.
Is he? Oh, pelican. Whatever.
Something like that. Yeah.
I'm not a.
You're
Animal
fine.
Crossing.
The Queen is very, very huge in Animal Crossing. It's one of the games that she walked me into, and I got addicted to it for a while. I have New Leaf still. I haven't touched my village in over a year. I'm a bad mayor.
I pretty much see the appeal in Animal Crossing as I did in Harvest Moon 64.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's around the same thing. But so she has been like on the marching path for the last year. Where's my Animal Crossing Switch? You didn't give me a console Animal Crossing on the Wii U. In fact, you gave me that bullshit board game.
Mario Party for Animal Crossing fans?
It's not. It's worse in every way, shape, and form.
Did you guys buy it?
Yeah, we have it. We got it for $5 at GameStop, and I only bought it because I wanted the amiibos.
There you go. Yeah.
But so I'm walking home, and I see he comes in, and I was like, "Oh no!" I knew it was coming, and I keep getting messages from the Queen, and she's like, "Is it happening? Is it happening? It's gonna happen." And I'm walking out, and I stopped. I was like, "I'm not walking into the house right now, because I know it's about to happen." And as soon as that happened, I got so many messages from the Queen. It's like, "Oh my gosh!" She tried calling me. She's like, "What the fuck is this?" It's like, I can't watch it and be on the phone with you at the same time. I'll call you back in a second.
Yep.
And so, the whole thing happened, and they gave us a Bethesda's E3 presentation of Animal Crossing for Switch.
Yeah.
Logo, that's it, 2019, cool, yay.
The Metroid Prime 4 development, pretty much.
I got into my house right after the direct ended, and the Queen is like a wreck of emotions. She's on the bed, she's tears everywhere. She's just like, I was like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "These pieces of shit, they made me happy and then mad and then happy again, and now I'm ecstatic and I can't control myself." It's just awful. It was the ugliest of cries. But
Sandra Pine to Rocky Road. That's what I do with my Queen.
I love her for it. She was so upset.
I can imagine.
What a dick move.
Yeah. This has been Nintendo recently. They are doing some really great things, but they're
growing into like the adolescent internet troll.
Hey, who was it? Reggie Fils-Aimé, when he found out that people were hacking NES and SNES classics, he just said, "Have fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy
like,
the 90s."
Do you remember the E3 they did? I think it was not this year, but last year, where they had all the sock puppets and stuff. No, it was the year right before Iwata died.
It was before that, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but they did the joke about how Mother 3 was never coming to America.
Yep.
Thanks, Nintendo.
Yeah, I again, that's another franchise I don't have any emotional attachment to. Now that I have an SNES classic, I can try Earthbound at some point.
So good.
But
it's worth your time. Go play that game.
To be honest, just so this enormous cult following can just finally be happy, I would go to Reggie myself and be like, dude, what do you really have to lose from releasing at least a digital version of Mother 3?
Nintendo hates money. That's what it is. I know you hate people saying that.
All aboard the train, let's get it going. Choo-choo. Okay.
Oh, I'm so done with this discussion.
Really quick, if you could rate it, I know we love rating things, especially on number scales. 1
4
to
out
10.
of 10.
4?
4.
4.
35 minutes of a lot of not exciting, and then a dick move to show me a logo at the ending.
See, I think you're just butthurt about.
Yeah, that's part of
Animal
it for
Crossing.
sure. But I mean, there was also, it's like, I don't know, I'm happy for Super Mario Party. I'm excited for Luigi's Mansion. I'm excited for Final Fantasy, but that's like it.
I do understand that there was a lot of stuff that we already knew about in this direct. There was also a lot of could care less. It wouldn't matter if we got it, but I'm also in the boat of I wouldn't take something away from somebody if this was something they were really truly excited about and looking forward to. I think that my favorite TV show Community said it best. Joe McHale makes a quote in the first season, and they're talking about basically religion and Christmas. Not to get religious about this, but one of the characters mentions to him saying something about Christmas being stupid, and his response to it was, "No, I don't think it's stupid, but I think it's a lot like Paul Rudd. I see the appeal, and I would never take it away from anybody, but I would also never stand in line for it."
That's funny.
I think that
Paul Rudd,
is
of all people.
Paul Rudd, and now he's Ant-Man.
Poor Ant-Man, yeah.
Yes,
I loved him in I Love You, Man. The movie's great.
he was fine in that, slapping the bass. But I mean, I completely agree with that statement. I would never take any of these games they announced away from anybody if they were excited.
Sure.
Even a game like Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn, I wouldn't take that away from anybody. So when people, especially like when you go back to the Metroid Prime Federation Force,
Oh yeah.
people got real upset about that because where's my Metroid Prime 4? Where's my mainline Metroid? I understand people's outrage with that, but why would you take that away from somebody when all you have to do is not buy the fucking game?
Sure.
Simple.
You didn't ask me about everybody else. You asked me my opinion, and I gave it to you.
I
so.
did. I did. I appreciate your opinion. I was just expanding upon that. Ultimately, 4 out of 10. Ultimately, after looking it over, thinking about it long and hard for an entire day, I would definitely rank it higher than a 4. I would actually give it even a 7. It certainly had its flaws. There were certainly gaps of like, I don't care. I mean, but
There's a time about Warframe, and I was like, I don't show me Animal Crossing. Give me gameplay.
And
that is my biggest pet peeve. If you're gonna show me something, show me gameplay. Don't give me a flashy cinematic. Don't show me a logo. Give me gameplay.
I understand. I truly do.
I hate all trailers that are not gameplay.
I get it, man. I do.
That's why I haven't been excited for Kingdom Hearts 3 until the last trailer that just came out recently.
I don't think I've seen it.
Well, we won't get into it here. We'll talk about Kingdom Hearts for 5 more minutes, and I don't want to do that.
Yep.
So
no, this topic is pretty much over. It's been way far too long, and I knew it would be.
Far too long.
But that's pretty much it. I thought it was a lot of people are going to disagree with me.
Yeah, it was alright.
There's certainly highlights, and there's certainly ups and downs.
Yeah.
But compared to other directs, and other than the fact that they announced 3DS stuff, which I was kind of expecting them to finally be done with it, but it still makes some money from there.
Yeah, I'd say it still prints them money.
Yeah, so 7.
4.
Yep. 7 plus 4 makes it an 11.
An 11 out of 20. He gets a 5.5 out of 10.
But these amps go to 11. Spinal Tap fans out there.
Anyway, let's
All
move
right.
on.
I feel we should too.